Nutrition labels can be confusing and sometimes downright misleading. And yet, these labels are supposed to be there to help us decipher a food's nutritional value. This video starts our new series, which I am psyched about, called Back to Basics Nutrition, which will cover all the important things you need to know about eating well. In this video, I'll show you how to quickly read nutrition labels so that you can make the best food choices for your health. The first step is to start from the bottom. This might seem counterintuitive, but trust me here. The ingredients list is a true indication if the food lives up to the front of the package height. The first ingredient listed is the ingredient that is the largest quantity in the food. The second is the second largest quantity, and so on. So if the food says it's made with real fruit, and then real fruit is the last ingredient listed, then the product is more filler than actual fruit. Let's look at some bread. This bread says it's multigrain. And if you've seen my food marketing myths video, you know that multigrain is a food marketing scheme that really doesn't mean anything. So go down to the ingredients list to confirm if it's made with mostly whole grains. This bread has enriched wheat flour as the first ingredient, which is flour that's been stripped of the bran and the germ and nutrients, and then added vitamins and nutrients added back in, like iron and B vitamins. It is not a whole grain. My suggestion is to pass on this bread and find one that has a whole grain listed as the first ingredient. Now we go back to the top and check the serving size and total servings per container. Generally, the serving size is the amount that most people eat or drink, and the calories and all the other nutrition information listed is based on that serving size. But caution here, this is where food companies tend to get tricky. If the serving size is much smaller than what you would eat, then you'll need to factor that in. Let's look at some tortilla chips. I love tortilla chips with some guacamole, yum. For these chips, the serving size is just 7 chips. I don't know about you, but I usually have more than 7 chips when I am dipping into my guac. But if you quickly looked at this label and saw the large 150 calories, you might think, hey, these chips are pretty low cal for chips. But that's why you need to check the serving size. Then the serving size that you would eat impacts the rest of the nutrition label. So if you would eat 2 servings of tortilla chips, then you would double the calories and double all the other nutrients listed below. So here's my Thrive tip on serving sizes. Always check the serving size and see if that is a representation of how much you would eat in a serving. Next, we're moving down the label. We check serving size. Now we're gonna look at key nutrients for a quick nutritional picture of the food. Let's start with fat. Fat is not a bad thing. In fact, there are lots of healthy fats that are beneficial for your health. Unsaturated fats are really good for us and shown to help lower the risk of heart disease and lower cholesterol. What we want to look at here is to avoid trans fats altogether. They are unanimously terrible for us. And we want to reduce our saturated fat intake where possible. But keep in mind that low fat does not equal healthy. Many times when a product is developed to be low fat, they're taking fat out and then they add other things in, like sugar, artificial sweeteners, and other fillers so that it actually tastes good. And this, of course, is not great for us. Here's my Thrive's tip on fat. If the label says 0 trans fat but includes partially hydrogenated oil in the ingredients list, it means the food does actually contain some trans fat, but it's less than 0.5 grams per serving. Now we're going to continue to move down the label and look at sodium. Sodium is one of the items that can get overlooked, so I really want to point this out. So we want some sodium, but not too much. And lots of sodium is packed into processed foods and fast foods. Daily, the goal we want to shoot for is 2,300 milligrams or less sodium. And salt can be pretty sneaky in foods. Take this Olive Garden salad dressing. They're promoting that it has no high fructose corn syrup and no artificial flavors, which is to distract you from the fact that it has 540 milligrams of sodium in one serving. One serving is just 2 tablespoons of the salad dressing, and that has almost 1/4 of your daily sodium needs. And if you put 3 tablespoons or 4 tablespoons of salad dressing on your salad, then you're at over 1,000 milligrams of sodium in just your salad. So my Thrive tip here on sodium is to remember 2,300 milligrams or less of sodium per day. As we scan down the label, we're going to come to carbohydrates next. Carbs still get a totally bad rap, but I'm here to tell you that quality carbohydrates, like those from whole grains and fruits, veggies, and beans, are really great for us. Right under carbs is fiber, and I want to highlight this because we can all benefit from eating more fiber-rich foods. And here's my Thrive's tip on carbs. Net carbs on a package drives me nuts as a dietitian. Here's what this means. If the food has 7 grams of carbohydrates and also has 7 grams of fiber, the food company takes total carbs minus fiber to get net carbs. So for this one, 7 grams of carbs minus 7 grams of fiber, they can say it's a 0 net carb product. The thinking behind this is that fiber is the carbohydrate that our body can't fully digest. So it passes through our digestive system and it's not processed the same way that simple sugar carbohydrates are processed. However, the science here is still considered fuzzy, and this is more of a marketing tool that helps food companies cash in on low carb, no carb keto craze than it is a nutritional tool. So ignore net carbs. As we scan down the label, the next thing we come to is sugar. There are 2 types of sugars listed on the food label: naturally occurring sugars and added sugars. Naturally occurring sugars are found in fruits and dairy and carbohydrates, while the added sugars are refined sugars that may have started from a natural source, but they've been processed so that only sugar remains. Think about like corn syrup coming from corn or white sugar coming from sugar cane. And a new-ish addition to the nutrition facts label is the requirement to list added sugars. And as a dietitian, I find this so helpful. The added sugars are usually simple sugars added into a product to make the foods taste better. And here's my Thrive's tip on sugar. Scan the ingredients list for sugars that are hidden in plain sight. Foods have multiple sugars listed in multiple forms, and it can be super confusing as the consumer. Everything from honey and maple syrup to coconut sugar, cane sugar, malt syrup, molasses, high fructose corn syrup, invert sugar, dextrose. Anything ending with that OSE at the end is likely a form of sugar. Next on the label, protein. Everyone's protein needs are different. This depends on your age, your activity level, your health, and your goals. But protein is key for building cells and tissues, for healing, for growth. Basically, we need protein for our body to function. So spreading your protein intake throughout the day is important to help you meet your daily needs. Good food sources of protein include lean meats, eggs, soy, peanut butter, beans, lentils, and quinoa. And if you're looking for a range of protein, 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal is a great place to start and a great place to aim for. However, there are lots of nuances here. You might need more if you're trying to build muscle or if you're recovering from an injury. And here's my Thrive tip on protein. Protein keeps you fuller longer because it takes longer to digest than carbs and fat. What is the % daily value? This is the percentage number that's next to all the nutrients, and it's a percentage of the daily value for each nutrient in one serving of the food. Are you still confused? The goal is to help you see how much a food contributes to your total daily diet. But here's my Thrive's tip on daily values. The daily value is based on a 2,000 calorie per day diet, which does not work for everyone. You might need more or you might need less. It totally depends on you. So just know that that % would be if you were eating 2,000 calories a day. Now we're down to vitamins and minerals, and all labels must include calcium, vitamin D, iron, and potassium on their label. And then depending on the product, there can be up to 14 different vitamins and up to 14 different minerals listed. Learning the nutrition facts label can take a little bit of time, but consider this time an investment in your health. And once you understand the label, you can make the best choices at the store or online for your health and your family's health. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. I hope this video was helpful and informative, and I hope you feel empowered for your next trip to the grocery store. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe to join our group of thrivers and join our channel and be notified when we release new videos. And if you have a topic you'd like me to cover as part of our new Back to Basics nutrition series, just drop me a comment below. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive. If the food lives up to the front of the blah, 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 blah.